Welcome back to Talking Shop, the Old Testament edition. It is Palm Sunday, Sunday of the Passion. We are in Deuteronomy chapter 32, verses 36 through 39. Bob, would you give us the 10-second pitch as to why we should preach the Old Testament this week?
If the people are singing Hosanna when Jesus is coming into Jerusalem, then Exodus 32 says why. Because the Lord will vindicate his people through this king, through this Jesus, who is killed but made alive, who is the sacrifice for our sins. If you look to him, you will see how God will heal the nations and deliver all peoples. And so we have a singing theme. The Hosanna that they're crying out finds its reason in Deuteronomy 32.
Amen. Let's get after it.
Spit out my Lord in every way, yet I'm still welcome in the arms of the King.
All right, welcome back to Crafted Preaching, the Old Testament edition. It's Palm Sunday, or Sunday of the Passion. If you're one of those fancy newfangled people. We are in Deuteronomy chapter 22, verses 36 through
32.
Oh, is that what did I say? 22? I can speak right today. Deuteronomy chapter 32, verses 36 through 39. Bob, help us get our bearings. Give us some context. What's going on in and around Deuteronomy 32?
So before Moses dies, goes up on Mount Nebo and dies, he sings this song that he wants the Israelites to continue on singing. And it's about their story and what God has done. And so it's kind of a strange kind of remembrance of everything that God has done in the midst of death. There's life and deliverance and salvation. So it's a really interesting song.
They're singing the song of their people.
They are singing the song of their people.
They're singing a song about their story.
Yeah, that's exactly correct.
Cool. Let's get into the text. All four verses. Verse 36, the Lord will vindicate his people and have compassion on his servants when he sees that their power is gone and there is none remaining, bond or free.
I mean, this is really great. I mean, to be vindicated by God, to be delivered of your enemies, and to be able to sing and triumph over that is huge.
Mm-hmm. Verse 37.
I thought you had something. Oh,
no,
whoa.
yeah. I think you could jump off on a vindication theme.
Yeah.
In that sometimes the things that we as the church, as God's people, as Christians do, look strange to the surrounding world.
Yes.
But when Jesus returns, we'll be vindicated.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a moment, if you want to develop in the lives of your hearers, there's a moment when vindication is so important and so sweet. I will share a super silly example in order to kind of emphasize that. Before we moved here to Las Vegas, a member of my congregation gave me his Ford Bronco, his 1988 Ford Bronco, it was classic, right? And huge, gigantic. And what I did is I parked it in my driveway. And then when we came here, I gave it away to this kid who used to mow our lawn. And our lawn's back in North Idaho. That's where seed for grass seed is grown, is in North Idaho. I mean, so the grass there is Amazonian. It's nuts. It's like a jungle. And so we would let our grass go, and he'd have to cut it down, where you angle the shot, then shave it all the way down. So this poor kid, he was such a trooper. He's an Eagle Scout, great kid, but we never paid him. You know what I mean? He just did it out of his love for his pastor and is clogging the machine. I'm surprised he didn't lose a finger. So when we left, I gave him this Bronco, as a gift. Hey, you're amazing. I don't think he wanted it, but I gave it to him. So I tell my wife, not too long ago, hey, remember when we had that Bronco? And she goes, I have no idea what you're talking about. And I'm like, you mean the obscene vehicle that sat in our driveway? And she's like, we never owned a Bronco. I was like, yes, we did. And she's like, no, we didn't. And then I'm like, you can't tell me that it wasn't real. You know, and I was there for it. I remember when we had to start the thing up, I had to get my mechanic friend to come over to help me to start the thing up because I let it sit too long. So she tells me, never remembers at all. And that is personally offensive to me. But you know what the thing is? I can't find a picture of it. I never took a picture of it. It was like me next to the Bronco. You know what I mean? None of that. None of that. And so I'm starting to wonder if maybe I have mental illness or something like that. But I know that we had the Bronco. And I'm like, I'm starting to get very personally offended. And she's really letting me have it. I don't know if your spouses ever do that to you. But she's grandstanding, you know. And then I asked her sister, who lived in the same town as us, and she said, I don't remember when you had a Bronco either. And now I'm really mad. And so here's what I did. I dug through my email and found the bill of sale. And in that moment, when I showed them the bill of sale, it was vindication. And there was something about that moment that just felt so freeing and so right. I'm not crazy. This really did happen. You know, so when I think of the Lord will vindicate his people, I think of moments like that, where there's truly you are vindicated, and how freeing that is, and how that silences those people who are saying the opposite word.
Yeah.
And so that was a long example.
Well, you know, a lot of the youth talk about, I kept the receipts, and it's typically used in like a negative way.
Yeah.
That like if someone tries to, say something happened, but it went the other way, we say, oh, we kept the receipts, and so I feel like God doesn't keep receipts against us.
No, but he does vindicate us.
Yeah.
And so it's like the devil's the one being the negative one, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So maybe, sorry, babe, I use that as a negative example. I love you. But so, I mean, you could kind of share a story of vindication and then say, well, who's the one who's saying that they kept the receipts?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like also, too, the later part of 36. It's not about our power either. It's all about, his power.
Yep.
I really like that. It's like at this moment where we have, I don't know, it's almost like God always uses what's weak to shame the strong.
Oh, there's maybe something.
Something like that. But that's New Testament. This is Old Testament. All right?
Okay, yeah. I think that comes up later, actually. Yeah, so.
Verse 37, Then he will say, where are their gods, the rock in which they took refuge, who ate the fat of their sacrifices and drank the wine of their drink offering? Let them rise up and help you. Let them be your protection.
Yeah, so, what do you guys think about that?
You made your bed, now sleep in it.
Yeah.
You want to worship false gods? Where are they at?
Yeah.
How's that working out for you?
Yeah.
That's a Dr. Phil question.
It's a Dr. Phil question. That's correct.
How's that working for you?
How's that working out for you? Yeah. But they weren't taken from the rock of their idols. They were taken from the rock, which is the Lord. Right? And so that would be like the opposite example. Like, who was the rock from which they were taken? Was it their idols? No. It was Yahweh of hosts. Or as Paul says in 1 Corinthians 10:4, they drank from the spiritual rock which followed them, and that rock was Christ. You know what I mean? So set your foundation here, not here. Right?
Yeah.
For the Israelites versus unbelievers.
Yeah.
Versus pagans.
Yeah.
Right? Like the pagans do have their gods.
Yeah. Not a good idea.
Yeah.
It reminds me of this Dr. Kolb quote.
Why do you ask?
No, not that one. He said something along the lines of, and I wasn't the best student at seminary, so I don't remember it to his exact verbiage, but it was, there are two gods in our lives, the gods we are dying to have and the God that died for you.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I've not heard that one, but it's very Colby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that just kind of reminds me, it's like, okay, I have these idols in my life, and I think that they're going to bring me happiness, that they're going to bring me joy. I have, we're going to keep in theme of Palm Sunday. I have this king in my mind, but it's not going to do anything for me. Only Jesus is going to do something for me, because Jesus is the God that died for me. So these gods that I feel like I'm dying to have to make me feel a certain way, they are not going to die for me.
That's good.
They're just going to keep me wanting more.
That's great. That'll do. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Oof. Oof.
Yeah.
Should we go on to 39?
Why not?
See now that I, even I, am he, and there is no God beside me. I kill and make alive. I wound and I heal, and there is none that can deliver out of my hand.
Yeah, so if you have all these false gods, they must die in order for you to live. Like even you must die in your flesh in order to have life. There is law and there is gospel. I kill and I make alive. This is great. This is a great text.
I think this is some really powerful imagery for the day that it is, for Palm Sunday.
Talk to me.
As Jesus is riding into town to much acclaim. And then, right, we know what's happening on Friday. Right? And,
Yeah.
he's going to be crucified. Right? He's going to die.
Yeah.
And even the disciples, even those who are closest to him, right, maybe aside from John, desert him this week.
Yeah.
Right? But he's vindicated in his resurrection. And so this is a great foreshadowing of what's happening this week. Like, everybody thinks they know what's about to go down, right? Jesus is coming into his kingdom, and he's going to overthrow the Romans, and they're looking for this political revolution. And he is like, that is not our God, right?
Yeah.
It's not just political power. There's something greater going on here.
Sorry, keep going.
And so, yeah, this week is a wink and a nod to here's what's coming this week. We're all giving Jesus lots of praise and lots of claim, and lots of acclaim. Everybody's all excited this week, but ultimately, he's going to die for your sin.
I heard it once said, this is not my words, I can't remember who said it, but Palm Sunday is a good reminder how quickly our words go from crown him to crucify him when we don't get our way.
Yeah.
You know? And it's just like, yeah, we have this plan that we want Jesus this way, but the way that he has, or his plan, is so much better than our plan.
Yeah. But I think the gospel nugget here is in 39, right? I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal.
Yeah.
And so you guys might think that you have this this Messiah figure, this blasphemer under control. But I, the Lord, am really in control. I'm the one that kills, and I'm the one that makes alive. So while you guys killed him, I get the last laugh next Sunday when I heal the nations and I make Jesus alive.
I kill, I make alive. No one can snatch them out of my hand. It's
Right.
great.
Ultimately, making alive of Jesus for our salvation.
For our vindication.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, you guys are doing great. Yeah.
I like that.
Other things in the text that you see, other thoughts on how to preach this?
No, I like it. Yeah, no, I think this is great.
I think it's good.
All right. If you would, please subscribe on YouTube, share this with another preacher, get together with some other preachers, talk about preaching, and God bless your preaching.